Hello, people and bots. Grandpa Canuck here. And today we are looking at revisiting Going Medieval. Yes, Going Medieval has been out for a while now, and it's had 10 major updates since that time. The game has progressed a long way from the early reviews of it. The early reviews labeled this game as a 3D medieval RimWorld. Was the synopsis of what most people thought it was. So let's just take a look here. On Steam, you can see that it was originally released on June 1st, 2021. So almost 3 years ago. Can't believe it's that long. The reviews come in very positive, both recently and the all reviews included. This is very, very good, I think, to show that the game has been consistently getting better. Let's get back to it. Okay. Now, the other interesting thing that this game has is they've listed their roadmap right on the opening page. So you can click on it, and it shows you the features that have been most recently added. As I said, they've had 10 major updates to it. And so lately has been added rivers and ponds, waterfalls, the new map type marsh, fish and eels, and a fair number of quality of life improvements. They still have a lot more things to add. I'm particularly looking forward to fire and flammability. There's nothing like a burning village and fighting a fire with medieval technology. Also, I'm very much looking forward to the added sieges. So raiding other settlements with a prisoner system, whatever the grand objectives are, this mounted siege weaponry, I think, will be very, very interesting. Hopefully that is both offensive and defensive in the nature of things. And don't know what to expect from natural caves. More siege weapons is definitely something I want to see. More research is something I want to see. The quality of life in the game, I don't think, is too bad. More resources. I love more complex things. So yeah, more map types, always welcome. More music, not my thing, but it's good that it's there. And more structures, always wonderful. So I think this is an excellent roadmap. And knowing that they've done this in 10 updates, they have at least, I would say, another 3 updates to go for it. So I would say at least another year before it's fully developed for what they see as a full release. The options within the game are broken up in the standard areas. Graphics and wonderful. Turn on and off the footprints and the bird flocks. If you don't have a really powerful computer, you can definitely tone these down. We have running at the very high settings today. Okay, and we have all the ambiance. Only thing that's turned off is the motion blur. And that's what I will show you. The audio controls are laid out pretty straightforward. The in-game, interesting thing here is the temperature. Not only do you have a choice between Fahrenheit and Celsius, you also have Kelvin. There's very few games that use Kelvin. Stationaires is the only other one that really comes to mind to me that I play that has Kelvin in it. So if you're very scientific and you would like to work in Kelvin, all the power to you. For doing it. Another interesting feature here. Several interesting features. The UI scale. I'm over 60 and I have good distance vision, but I like larger icons, so it's nice to see that they've done that for me. The autosave varies, but showing the animal names. None, all the animals, domestic only, or pets only. And I think that's absolutely great because you can name the animals in this. I think that's a great setting that has very typical keyboard. Whoa! I reset. I want to hit cancel. The typical camera settings. Okay, and it runs the typical credits. Right, long list of credits because it takes a lot of people to really develop a good game like this. So going back, language settings. I think there's about 13. 11. English, I believe one of those is Mandarin, Russian, German, Spanish, French, Polish, Portuguese, Turkish. There's a couple of Eastern languages I'm not familiar with there. One is main Chinese Mandarin, I believe. But I'm not an expert in foreign languages. So those are great options as well, right off the start. It is still officially in early access, but it is clearly just not released. It is definitely a set game. So let's just review the loading of a new game. So you have, first of all, 3 settings: standard, peaceful, and survival. Okay, as it says, enemy raids happen frequently in this mode, and their difficulty increases over time. Peaceful, no enemy raids, okay, and standard. And within each of these, you have a setting between very easy, hard, and custom. Now, the custom allows you to alter all of these items for how you wish to tweak the game. Okay, everything from using seeds to cold snaps and heat waves being turned on and off to blight to thunderstorms. If there's a particular feature in the game you don't like, right? You don't like the barter values. You want to make it harder. You want to make it easier. Enemy hit points, make it harder or easier. Hit point recovery. It's very alterable. Okay, wound severity multiplier. So if there's something you don't like about how the game fits your play style, you can alter that under the custom settings. And I think that is just great that they've broken it down that far. And that's available in each of these modes. So you can play hard survival mode, okay, but on custom, you could weaken that down on a couple of items if there was a couple of things you didn't want extremely hard in the game. After you choose that setting, we'll just set up for standard here. You come into this. A couple of my customs are not good anymore. The standard one is called A New Life, and this is your package of starting equipment. Now, if you don't like it, you can create your own starting package for what you want. The time of year you want to start the game, the starting season, the number of settlers you have at the start. So if you want to start with 15 settlers, you can. If you want to start with 1, you can. Okay, the age range on your settlers, right? Even the height and weight. You want to have, all short people, all tall people, all heavy people. If you want dwarves or elves, you can set it up. Masculine, feminine mix. There's all kinds of things. And you can add conditions as well, right? Your starting animals, your starting research, right? Settler constraints, etc., etc. This is all can be varied in the setup for the game that you want from the standard material. Okay? So the starting material is not necessarily what you want to start with. You can change it. Again, let's just continue on with the standard stuff. The next thing brings up kind of the regional map. If you don't like the name that's given you, type in your own name. Randomly come up with something else. Welsh pool. Okay. You can design your own coat of arms for it. You can randomly put your coat of arms in. Okay. You can edit the one that's there. Now the map has now 4 different map types: the valley, the hillside, the mountain, and the new marshland. That's a new map style, each of those. Okay? And there's positives and negatives to the number of tiles that are going to be there. Oh, that's Bonnie and Clyde, my 2 pet green-cheeked conures. They love getting in on the conversation sometimes. Okay. So fierce summers on the valley. Hillside, right? Uneven terrain, suitable for a good defensive position. Mountain. Plentiful limestone, gold, iron, and silver. Lesser amounts of fertile soil, clay, and vegetation. Harsh winters, mild summers. And the marsh. Mild winters, a watery, rivery landscape, rich in plant life and teeming with fish. Land animals. Mineable resources are scarce. Okay, so you can do all of these. And the size can be small, medium, or large. There's also a random number seed. So you can share these. You find a map that you really, really like. You can actually then put forward and share that original map. Every randomized map is going to come back and reset. So let's put the large map on. Let's go to the marsh. We have a random seed here. And let's just hit next. Now it brings you to your 3 settlers, because it was set up to be 3. As I said, you could do it 1 if you wanted. I don't know what the maximum is. Dozen? Who knows? It gives everybody perks, skills, and overall it shows you in the group what the highest of each of the skills are. Okay, religious alignment. There's 2 main religions in the game. Okay, age, weight, and height. And there's advanced customization. Okay, notice what comes up. So here you get the person. You could advance. Okay, you can load in, and you can save people. Okay, so you can make them their background. You can randomize it. Okay, what's their handle? Oh boy. And you notice some of the stats are changing when you do this. You can change their head, masculine, feminine, change their hair, facial, skin color alteration, perks, right? You can add perks. So your people, you can totally randomize, or you can specifically lay out not only their skills, but their look, their age, everything about them. And you can do that for each of your people. Okay? The next thing you come across, here you have your summary, right? And you can always go back. Oh, no, I didn't want that. You can go back. Nothing else changes unless you change something. And then you would hit embark. And now you would have a short pause for the game mechanics to generate all its random numbers and its lovely randomness of a new medieval world for you. So this is the large map, and this is as long as it's going to take for it. So since this is a review to show you what the game's actually like, this is as long as it's going to take for a large marsh map to generate. This is not edited in any way. I have not pre-recorded and gone back to this. I haven't pre-looked at the random number. This is all totally random for how the game actually works. And I wanted to give you a real feel for how the game actually is. You're in the 1300s in England after the plague has gone through the area. That's the era of the game, and you are taking this small band of settlers into a new land to start afresh. So they have their starting supplies, and you're going to start from scratch. And as I said before, in the game setup, you can totally randomize that any way you want. And here you go. It gives you a lead in to it with a little history. As I said, 1353, right? And it writes all your people into the story. Okay? Okay, let's just pause it. So it starts you off with your goods here and your 3 people. Let's zoom out. And it gives you a marsh map. So here you can see marsh and wetlands everywhere. Water, swampy land. Definitely deeper water in some places here. Large pond. So you'd be kind of limited on digging anything on this map, and that's the whole point. But this is a great map for water manipulation. And yes, you can dry out areas. You can make dams when there's running water, so you can dam up an area. You can excavate and dig deeper, and you can dig channels for the water as well. That's all possible. So your first choice would be where you wish to build your village. Now, when random attacks come, they come from any of the 4 sides. So you probably don't want to be in a corner, because if the attack did come on here, they'd be right on you right away. Central is good. Having a little bit of elevated land might be good. So each map type has an advantage and disadvantage. The wildlife that's here on this map would be different. Okay? There are mallard ducks on this one. You're not going to get mallards in the mountains. Okay? Or water voles. Very different. You're going to get deer, fox, okay? Those type of animals. Wolves in the mountains. So, all of these menus let you look at the things that you have. The items, you can look at all your items in the different categories. So that's how the game starts. And you can zoom in and 3D it around. Really easy pause. And the wonderful thing I like about this is also there's what they call a screenshot mode. So it takes you into this. So it takes you from the angle you were. You can zoom in or out. You can turn it. And the screenshot mode really, really hypes this up for getting some amazing screenshots as compared to the game mode. Okay, where you can zoom out and get a more of a level map feel to it. Okay, let's load an actual game that I have set here. I think that's the one. So this is a map that's in progress that I have played. If you look at my YouTube channel, you'll see that there's 4 videos there, which is the development of this village. So if you want to see how it got to be the way that it is, you can glance over those 4 videos. Okay. Again, loading in. Ramsey, Abel, and Emota. Those were my 3 settlers in the beginning. Now this village is advanced. I've been under attack several times. I lost 2 settlers in one of the attacks. Okay, so let's just go into that screenshot mode and take you around my village. So here I built on the bank of a river. Okay. And I have a walled village. A 3-story building here, several 2-story buildings, a couple under construction still. Okay, I've got a front gate and I've got one decent tower that's constructed. Now you can see the various levels in the game. You can actually go between the levels. You see a counter here. You actually have 16 levels in the game, right down to, well, bedrock, I guess. Okay, and as you bring it up, so you can see I have underground chambers where I've built storage in. So it definitely is a 3-dimensional game. Here I have ice storage and some long-term storage for pickled vegetables and smoked meat. I'm making another one for my liquor over here. And I have my library, books, all my knowledge. And higher level up, I have more storage areas. And these rooms all have characteristics. So here you can get the synopsis, and you can do this for any room on the map. Okay, and you want to keep these cool, so you want a cool setting, even though that it's winter time, or sorry, if it's summertime, you want to keep a cool setting. You want to keep it maybe warmer in the winter, right? So there are things in the game like ice to use for cooling. That's what they had in medieval time. You put away a bunch of ice in cold storage, and you bring it out in the hot weather to cool your environment. Okay, so you can look inside the buildings. So here you see is the first floor of a barracks. And items that can contain stuff, you can go over top of them and you can see. So I've got gold coins inside this one. Doesn't look like there's anything in that one. That one has clothing. So here you can see the names of the characters, the names of a number of my animals. Because I've labeled it to have the names of the domestic animals and the pets. Okay. So just to show you what it's like, the menus, each settler, you can lay out their priority for a job. So when you look at their skills, you may want this person to prioritize. Even though he is a 14 in botany, you may want them doing a lot of your botany. I don't know. It all depends. So according to their skills and how they mix in with the mix of the village, you can prioritize the individual. So this chart reads across. Okay? So what it'll do is look from left to right. And anything that is the lowest number on the left. So number 1, right? Does this person need to be a patient? That's his number 1 priority. His second priority would be convalesce. Okay? And then his third priority, if he's not doing those, go and do research. And if there's no research to be done, head for number 2. And it would be animal husbandry, followed by mining, followed by crafting, followed by artist, followed by hauling, and then so on and so on, 3, 4, and 5. And that's how the AI determines what you want. So you can customize each of your people to do the tasks in relation to their skills and your desire. Okay. Everyone has their own individual schedule divided into 4 categories. You can designate time for sleep, time for work, time for mixed is anything. Anything, they could be doing anything, and that's up to the AI to determine, and times that they're working and time for leisure. Under manage, everybody has equipment. Okay, all the equipment has hit points. So it all has numbers. The range of this item, the damage per shot, the hit points of the item, etc., etc. And there's various categories of items. You can see that this is a good. It's not an exceptional bow by any means. It's not a fine bow. It's not a sturdy bow. It's not a very, very low, flimsy bow. You can see everything has a different name. Okay, some of these are force equipped and some have been AI. Most of the weapons I do force equipped. Sometimes they will be auto equipped. There's an auto equipped. There's a force equipped. So the auto equipped, he will automatically go for the best item that's available to them. The force equipped, they will maintain having that item. Okay. Now, these categories here, for instance, under food, okay, this person's set to eat all food. You can set it up to be no food, raw food, just eat meals. Yes, there is cannibalism. Yes, you can cook the dead bodies of the victims that you kill, right? And you can edit them. So you can include things on and make up your own lists. Okay? And I've done that here in the stimulants, where I have no RW, and I can edit it. Okay, and that's stimulants. The alcohol will drink anything except rough wine. And I have a reason for that in my game, where I'm trying to turn the rough wine into fine aged wine, so I don't want them drinking the rough wine. Right? And so that's all customizable. And I think that's great. The overview, as I said, there's an overview of all my food. Right, materials, seeds, fodder, my waste materials, everything. So it's all reviewable, and quite often you can interact or tell people to interact with it from these screens. Right. The items, so I can check all the armor that I have in stock. This is armor that isn't on the people. So this is in storage, and it tells me where it is. Okay, so there's plate armor in an armor rack. So I could go to one of my fighters. I could go to here. I could have him drop that. Okay, and if I knew which armor rack that was in, and I'd have to be in the right building. Let's just check this for a minute. Wrong building. So there it is. It's inside that, right there. Okay. So here I've clicked on Ramsey, on the item, right click, okay, equip the plate armor, and he'll go get it. It's that simple to control your people. They will look for a task within a set distance, and if they don't find it available, then they will look at a farther distance, okay, or a farther distance. And the AI has a routine where it will look for those, or it will move down the list of its priorities of what to do according to the way you have set your job priorities. I think that's a great system on how it works. Yes, you can shoot through graded windows, graded doors. And yes, you can shoot through, awkward. There we go. And yes, you can put an archer inside there to shoot out that window. And yes, height gives you an elevation advantage over an enemy. So somebody with a longbow up here could shoot farther than somebody with a longbow on the ground. It's just physics. It works that way. The water is really, really cool. Now, I created this. As you can see, I put these stone blocks down here. And I elevated the river. This river was all this level. So I essentially dammed it up and I created a horseshoe falls here. Okay? I could dam it up again and then it would flood to the next level. So it would flood up to here at the next level, and all this area would become flooded. Okay? When you look at it, you can see a deeper level here of river. That's where the river was, and this was all accessible land. And then after I flooded it, this became the accessible land. So that's the newest feature in the game that they've added with the water. So if they do the same sort of thing when they add fire and more enhanced siege, that would be great. So that was the overview. The domestic lists all of the domestic animals, and you can choose to hunt them, tame them, release them if they are captured, etc. Okay, and you can do that with any animal. You can click on the names where they are. Okay, and you can click on, and you can change Freaky's name. Freaky the cat. That's a cat that was actually born in my village. So it's that customizable as well. Here we have Dwight. You don't like Dwight's name? Change it. So the game is very easily manipulated into tweaking it in many, many, many directions. The region map shows other villages, and you can actually send out trade missions. And your trade mission, which you determine to send, I could send Dwight. I could send Dwight with his pet dog. I could send him with 3 dogs, or I could send him with a dog and a cow. And, you know, he could carry the goods on the cow, so he could carry more if he has a dog and a cow to carry stuff. And then he could sell it at that village and buy various goods, you know, trade from that village, etc. And over time, these will become more hostile or more friendly with them. Right, minus 86. They're not permanently hostile, but they are hostile. They don't like me. 0, 0, permanently hostile. 2% of alignment, so they're neutral. Now there's more development coming here, and more. You'll be able to lay siege and capture people in other villages. So not only will there be combat on your home village, there'll be combat by you on other village. So there's going to become a system of hierarchy of you being having vassal states, so to speak. And something like that is coming in the game. Well, that's the game. That's Going Medieval. And I think it is well worth what it is. Well worth what they're asking. And let's just go back here to the page. We'll give them a bit of a plug. Okay, and $32.49 Canadian. And it is April 30th today. And it's not on sale. So, that's the game. That's Going Medieval. And that's my thoughts about it. If anybody has any questions, please write them in below. If you like this review, please let me know. If there's something you totally disagree with this review, please let me know. I'm open to all comments, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitch, and I'll get you more interesting content. So until next time, all you people and bots, goodbye. I'm going medieval, so I'll see you later. Bye-bye.